WFM 91.7.
Good afternoon. It is 5 minutes past 12 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7, and you're welcome on The Big Question. The Big Question is where we discuss issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens, and we get to profile solution. The Big Question is brought to you Mondays through Fridays at 5 minutes past 12. My name is Esther Alaribe. You can listen live at the website www.wfm917.com. Download the mobile app to listen live, WFM 917. Today on The Big Question, we'll be discussing new administration and appointment of women in key positions. The new administration and appointment of women in key positions. So last week, Wednesday, the president-elect has been announced in person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress. And yes, at this point, Nigerian women are asking, how will this administration, the incoming administration, cater to the needs of women? Talk about women political inclusion and other needs of women. Because yes, we keep having this conversation year in, year out. In the area of politics, we're still struggling to achieve 35% for women, even though we have the 35% affirmative action. And this is the conversation we're going to be having today. So to react, 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message, 070 317 56537. My guest today is Dorothy Nuru Akenova, who is the founder of Feminist Institute for Mentorship for Political Participation. Good afternoon, Dorothy. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Women Radio and all the listeners around Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's a great privilege.
All right. So first, let us start the conversation with why it is important to have women in key positions. So for you, Dorothy, running an institution that mentors women for political participation, working with women, saying that we have capable women who can actually deliver in different key positions, either by elective or appointment positions. Why is it necessary? Nigerians must understand why it is necessary for us to have women in key positions.
Women constitute almost 50% of the population in Nigeria. To have women represented in all spaces and in an equitable size is important, because we can't just ignore the presence and participation of such a huge number of persons simply because they were born women. When we have women in positions, they are better placed to articulate policies that cater for their fellow women. Men may try as hard as they can, but they can never fit the way women do. And so, if we have women in there, women's issues will be captured in the right perspective, and interventions that will be put in place to address the key concerns of women will be very appropriate, rather than when we have all men who are there. The example, of course, is my personal experience. When I was going to school, my father, who was responsible for the pocket money, did not factor in the fact that I will plait my hair. He did not factor in that I will need sanitary towels. So it took my mom to bring all of those things up.
Okay.
To ensure my needs are catered for. So instead of giving me the same envelope size as my brother, there was need to consider all of these other things. And that's what we mean. I've broken it down to the most way that we can understand. So if we have women in position, they will know the needs of women. They will articulate the needs of women. They will protect the interests of women. They will ensure that every intervention project carries women's interests with it. The other reason is that women are socialized to nurture, to care. And so we have a higher tendency to be more responsive and more proactive on issues that concern our population. And we cannot ignore this as a fact, because we are living through an example of having had men leaving Nigeria. And we have seen that the percentage has been very high for men and very little for women. You know, people have put it, between 6 and 12% or something like that. So, practically, that we've not had the responsive government. Corruption has been very high. Insecurity has been high. And, the things that society needs, social amenities and the rest, are simply not there. Policies that are inimical to human well-being are articulated and protected and defended simply because women are not there. If women are there, they're going to think as mothers, as sisters, and as professionals. And so we're going to have a holistic atmosphere of governance and of leadership. So it's very important. And studies have shown that when women take on leadership positions, you can see that water supply, things like that, security, violence, things like that are reduced because women ensure that these things are addressed and tackled head on. There are great benefits indeed having women participate in leadership and governance. And Nigeria needs to understand that. Yes.
All right. So for you now as a Nigerian woman, what are you expecting from the incoming administration, either in the line of politics, political inclusion, or just different welfare for women generally?
I expect that, I'm looking at the speeches that have been made so far by the person who is going to lead in the next government. I know that the party itself does have, in place their own documents on how they intend to run Nigeria and what they intend to see in terms of party manifesto. Putting all of this together, but focusing more on this new leadership, because if we judge by the speech that he made when he was contesting at the primary election, the other aspirants cried over the deplorable state of our nation. And that was the ground upon which he was aspiring. And now his dream has come true. So we will start to hold him accountable. And the government that is incoming generally, in this perspective. Because they couldn't say one thing and then come and do another. So we expect that they will keep to their promises. In his speech, where he was getting his certificate of return and accepting the responsibility to lead the government, he extended the hand of friendship to, and he named a few, like his opponents, that he credited very well, and that's nice because it's welcoming, it's bridge building, it's, to aid to diffuse the tension that occurs during the election period, the campaign period, so that everybody can now come and, let us meet and take this Nigeria forward. We also appreciated, party members, he appreciated Buhari, he extended hand of friendship and appreciated the international community, for all their congratulatory messages and so on. I didn't see a specific mention of women. If there is anything I'm expecting in this administration. Because I have seen his personal lifestyle and how he has supported his wife, Remi Tinubu, all through her life to build her career. I expect that he will do same for the Nigerian women. He has promised in his manifesto 35% affirmative action to be implemented during his tenure. So we are expecting that of him. He has this caption of renewed hope, hope again. So, of course, we have hope. And our expectations are very high. And we understand that he didn't present himself as a messiah like most candidates would have. He was humble enough to give us an image of a human being who will come and let me quote, what he says. He says he will be in tune with our aspirations. He will charge up our energies, and he will harness our talents for the purpose of moving our nation forward and making it a nation that we can be proud of. Those are, huge promises, and we are very expectant that when he comes into power, he will hold all of us and we will work together. This is what he is saying here. We will work together so that we can have a nation that we can be proud of. This means that there will not be marginalization of women and of young people. There will not be discrimination based on ethnicity. He says he will be fair leader to all Nigerians. So these are commitments that have been made. And we're expecting that once the whistle blows and the swearing in has happened, that we will begin to see a roll out of all of these commitments that have been made in the new government. We expect that insecurity issues will be handled head on, and that the intersections that that exist between all the issues that we have will be borne in mind, so that we don't have policies that will trigger new problems or compound the old ones. And I'm confident that he can do that, and his government will, given the role that they have played in the change of Naira color problems that we had. These are the few people who have come out openly to fight against their party that is in leadership, to say this policy that you have put in place is anti-people, and they will go to court and they will go judgment even at the Supreme Court. It's been the people that work with him and around him. And so our expectations, we know, include the fact that there will be people-oriented, making sure that policies, programs that will be implemented will be such that will address the real needs of Nigerians. They've shown that, negative criticism would not deter them from the work that is at hand. By the way, they have weathered and stormed, weathered the storm through the campaign. And we expect that this will continue, because oppositions will always exist. And so this resilience that we have seen is what we want to see. Also, the period within which the government will be in place, so that they don't get caught up in partisan politics when it comes to issues that affect the Nigerians. All of those party colors will have to drop, so that our issues will be what will be on the table and will receive the attention and the focus of the new government.
Okay. So, yes, how do we hold the president-elect accountable for his promise to give women, Nigerian women, 35% in governance? How do we hold him accountable? Because so many women groups are already having to send messages to say the president-elect, this is what we hope to see in your administration. Let's see more women in appointive positions. Let's see more women being represented. So how do we hold him accountable?
we need to have a monitoring plan in place that will start immediately the government is sworn in, and it will start by examining the appointment that will take place in the various, offices and cabinets that exist, ministerial appointments, those in the Federal Character Commission, and so on. Because if we want to talk about Senate and House of Reps, that one has already been done. So we have to now focus on the appointment that will take place, and it has to start immediately. And everybody needs to be carried along who is interested in monitoring gender mainstreaming, representation. And already we have like Women in Politics Forum, which has been in the lead since the campaigns began, even way ahead of primaries. And their effort to bring women together to make sure that there is a successful primaries, with women emerging as flag bearers on diverse party platforms. So that group is there. It's the same group with the Nigeria Feminist Forum that have been leading the gender appropriation bills. And so we expect that the groups will continue to work hard and that they would have put that monitoring template, together with all the indicators well spelled out that we will use to monitor the regime. We need to interface closely because if we stay far away and we are only throwing criticism at the government, then it's not going to be a healthy relationship. We have to cut the women who are going to be in position in the party and work together with them closely and share the indicators with them so that we will operate a realistic agenda. And then we won't be suspect to the government that will think that we may be, playing the script of the opposition. But if we are together, working together, then we can point out where there are issues, and together we can work out solutions. So we shouldn't stand aloof of the government. We should go very close to the government. We should be friends with the government. Fortunately, there was such a very strong and powerful women wing during the campaigns that was led by Senator Remi Tinubu herself. And we can always interface with that women wing and make sure that the monitoring happens in a healthy and respectful manner. And, the 35 for me is just a starting point. And we should make that clear also as we engage the new government, so that they understand that 35% was 1995. And now we are in 2023. We should be talking about parity since 10 years ago. And so there is need for us to put that clearly at the table. We, however, appreciate that 35 is a starting point. Many have promised and have failed. So let us see the 35. Let them understand, the government that is coming into power, that we are definitely going to ask for more. The Nigerian women population is not 35%. It is a 50-50 that we have. So if we have parity in our population, why can't we have parity in the appointment and other positions in government and leadership? So that's the point. But we are willing and prepared to work with the government to make sure that this is achieved.
I see. Thank you so much, Dorothy. In case you're just joining us, it is 25 minutes past 12 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7, and this is The Big Question. On The Big Question today, we're discussing new administration and appointment of women in key positions. My name is Esther Alaribe, and my guest today, I'm speaking to Dorothy Noru Akenova, founder, Feminist Institute for Mentorship for Political Participation. And yes, we're talking about the need to have more women in governance, the need for the new administration to include women in governance. And Dorothy is having to tell us, she's told us of the needs, the benefit of having women, and strategies for women groups who are going to be following up on this to see that, yes, we have more women representation in the incoming administration. Now, let's talk about the women themselves, Dorothy. So, we have a lot of women, capable women, but let's talk about positioning themselves and portraying themselves as being capable to handle key appointment positions in governance.
I think that the right place to have commenced is participating in the party politics, being members of the party, taking up, executive positions, and supporting the campaign in every way we can. And I know there are women who have done just that, because that is the beginning of visibility, of capacity of those who will be given responsibility to contribute to the leadership of the newly elected government. People look at it like a token of appreciation that is given to party members, but it should change such that is it's only those who have the capacity, who have the qualification, that are given appointments. It is sad that most times the women who really throw themselves into the campaign process and who consider to sit and so on, many of them do not have the confidence that take up very high positions of responsibility in government. But there are women who probably were not in any political party or were in the opposition parties. It is important for us to note these women. It is easy to identify because also people can go through media clips, newspapers, radio programs, TV programs, and listen to women who had occupied these spaces and had spoken, and follow up by investigating their background and checking out on their qualifications to ensure that we are not only giving women positions because they were born with biological features that make them, females, but that women have something upstairs, that substance that can contribute to realizing the hope that Nigeria has in the incoming government. So we can position ourselves all the time by showcasing our skills and directly by even applying. I know instances where people make copies of their CVs and, they go drop it with one or two or three people who have influence within the government. And women should do that. There is nothing wrong. Men do it all the time. We are shy. We don't want to move around. I know that the components of sexual harassment and the rest, come in. But hey, for how are we going to be afraid that we will be harassed? Let's go out there. Let's showcase our capacity. Make your CV tidy it up well. Show your strength and deposit that CV in the office of the president-elect, so that as people are meeting and brainstorming, they can start by knowing that you are there. But if we don't do it now, then we are running out of time because we've already lost the time for the campaigns, and now we have to do something before the elections, the cabinets are set up, before the swearing in. Yeah, before the swearing in. So this is very important. Now, the women's groups, we all know one another, we know our capacities, we know who we can project. So if there are organizations, governmental organizations, community-based organizations, we can nominate CVs and recommend women and say, look, we want this woman, these are her antecedents. And we know that if she's brought on board this government, she will make a difference. Kindly consider her for the position of ABC, you know, so that we ensure the government is full of technocrats where there is need for expertise, that is, you know, we have that. And not necessarily people that party owe something to because they contributed to the campaign. You know, we need to start to make a shift from there. Let there be women that have the capacity, and fellow women can nominate other women, you know, to the government elect, so that we make sure that the people who occupy those positions are people that we can be proud of, that will represent us. We are not going to have people who will go in there and be serving the interest of men because some godfather put them there and is controlling the strings like, you know, marionette master. We need women who have their own capacity and the substance that it takes. You know, so it's important. We can't sit down and just wait for them to come and give us appointments. Let us do the way men do. Let's carry the CVs around. Let's do the lobby the way they do. Let's commend one another the way they do to make sure. Because that 35%, they may now start looking for women and they will start saying we can't find them.
Find women.
So let us make ourselves visible, yes. There is nothing wrong with paying for airtime every now and again and speaking on one TV platform, granting an interview, you know, in an area that you are passionate about. If it's security, get a press briefing and do something on security. Set up a WhatsApp group, set up social media handles, turn out things out there so that when people go there, they know where your heart is. Because these are platforms that people use these days to look for skillful people, the LinkedIn and all those, you know. So let us do the things that people do. Let's not be shy so that the right women can be visible or visibilized and given the appointment.
All right. Thank you so much, Dorothy. I'm like, I like the fact that you had to go like different areas, touching on different areas on how these women as well can make themselves visible. Because at the end of the day, some people will come out to tell you, oh, they could not find women to fill these positions. Where are the women? So positioning yourself as a woman also is also something for us to look into. I know that there are some women groups who do some kind of coalition of women across different sectors. Some people are already putting up lists together to see women who fit into certain sectors, certain agencies and MDAs on women who can deliver and will represent women well in these positions. And I'm glad you had to mention all of this as well, Dorothy. Thank you so much for being on the program this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right. Do have a wonderful day, Dorothy. Okay, so yes, that was my guest, Dorothy Nuhu Akenova, founder, Feminist Institute for Mentorship for Political Participation. And she's been able to tell us what exactly Nigerian women expect from the incoming administration and what the women also should do for them to be appointed into key positions and also increase the representation of women in governance. My name is Esther Laribe. Thanks to you for being a part of the Big Question this afternoon. Thanks for the listening to us today on the Big Question. Thanks to Victoria Bello for the support and to the executive producer, Tonwoke Wale. Thank you. The Big Question is a program where we discuss issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens, and we get to prefer solutions. So conversations like this are not end here. Yes, women groups, we need to keep this conversation going. So yes, in this incoming administration, we get to see more female representation in governance. My name is Esther Alaribe. Good afternoon.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
2023 general election don't come o. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our vote. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates Candidate we no dey use women play. Candidate we carry woman matter for head. Women make una get una permanent voters card PVC. Make we vote better.
The Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
Ní Women Radio 91.7 àmọ̀rírì rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a sì ń fẹ́ láti súnmọ́ ẹ sí. Ní báyìí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ 36 ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé oníṣòwò ni ẹ́, oníṣòwò aládàáni, akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nílé ìwé, òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì, ìyàwó ilé tàbí àgbẹ̀? Women Radio wà fún yín láì ná yín ní ohunkóhun. Forúkọsílẹ̀ ní wfm917.com. O sì tún lè darapọ̀ mọ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio ní Facebook group. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́, a ó bá ọ ṣe ìgbélárugẹ okòwò rẹ ní Women Radio tí wàá sì tún láǹfààní láti máa jẹ ẹ̀bùn tó jọjú lóṣooṣù. Dáúnlóòdù mobile app wa kó o sì máa gbọ́ wa níbikíbi tó o bá wà. Ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ tó kù.
Lunch Vibes. Every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That is Lunch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
I blow your candle light. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my. Oh yeah, give them left and right. Hot.
You think you know Nigeria's biggest tune?
This battle is a problem.
Then get in the ring on the Big Team Show every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFM 91.6. Be ready or get out.
Radio Doctor on WFM 91.7 every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you medical experts specialized in women's health.
If you're a 28-day cycle person, just come forward on your day 14, you would ovulate.
Call in to get free consultation on women's health on 07000-917-917 and 090-256-25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917. Text and WhatsApp to 070-317-56537. You can listen live online on www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7. The stories are real.
Something like this happened to me years back. I saw some messages in his phone. The lady that sent the message to him, when I read him, I said, "Oh, why are you like this? Why are you doing all this?"
It's all around you.
And when she comes up to him to tell him herself doing it, you should be humble enough to listen. And if there's something you can do about that, you do it. Is it reading books? Is it seeing a therapist? Be open to certain things, because at the end of the day, this person is your partner. That is the bottom line of everything. My family advised him to marry the girl he has impregnated. They forced him, but he refused. So when the girl starts telling that, they call us too much, then there's something to share.
So you want to share it? Share people see. You're not alone. Break the silence culture. Adult Conversations. Weeknights from 8 on WFM 91.7, The Voice of Women.
You're listening to The Voice of Women. It's not just talk, but we will take you. We play everything and we play them better.
Yes, 20 minutes to 1 on Women Radio, WFM 91.7. And as we know, here on Women Radio 91.7, we're everything women. Ahead of the elections on Saturday, we're spotlighting female candidates. And this conversation we're going to be having is an initiative of Women in Politics Forum with support from the MacArthur Foundation and RAPA under the Improving Electoral Integrity Accountability Project. So yes, as we know, in some states, they'll be having their governorship election on Saturday and state houses of assembly election as well. Today we're speaking to Nina Lancaster Okoro, People's Redemption Party gubernatorial candidate in Abia State. So Nina is going to be telling us why she's running for governorship in Abia State, what she intends to do differently for the people, the ideas she's bringing on board, women and children in her office if she's been elected, what are the plans. Good afternoon, Nina. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon. I'm good.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, I am.
All right. So tell us.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell us, you're running for the governorship in Abia State on the platform of the People's Redemption Party. So what are the ideas that you conceive? What are the things that you saw that you said you wanted to make a change in for you to run for this office?
Well, like every Abian living in Abia, there is no saying that Abia needs total repair. Repairs in all aspects of government, in communities, with the people. We need urgent help in Abia. I think a woman, not I think, I know that a woman like myself can do it and will do it. And this is primarily why I'm running for this election. Outside that, there's no other reason.
Okay, so I hear you, Nina, where you say that Abia State needs a total repair. So what are the areas that you've seen that need repair, and what are your own strategies on how you're going to address these issues and bring about the change as to why you are running?
Number one, my government would address non-payment of salaries, pensions, and gratuities. People have worked. People are owed a lot of money as salaries. And when you don't pay salaries, people are not happy. They can't bet. That's one. To pay salaries, we won't get into asking multinationals to adhere to rules of CSR, the corporate issue responsibilities, where they dig up, where they take stones, quarries. All companies should learn to give back to the communities where they're, getting their money, their wealth from. We also would delve into IGR of Abia to help pay salaries and pensions and gratuities. We would also address infrastructural decay, the roads, the schools, the hospitals. We have very bad roads in Abia. And it's discouraging a lot of industry or their investors to come into Abia to invest. And those who are already in Abia have all closed shops and gone away. So the government, in effect, my government, when I become the governor of Abia State, would help provide enabling environment for investors to come in. Like electricity, power. We have geometrics now supplying power to the people of Aba in Abia State. The government, my government, will help enable them, help them more, identify areas where they need help properly, fully, in order to get a robust power supply for the state as a whole. There was a time when in Abia, in Aba, we were manufacturing shoes, nail, glasses. We don't have any of these now because there's nothing. There's no good road to export our products. So in Abia, I would like for us to have a productive economy rather than consumptive economy based only on oil derivatives and allocations from the federal government. To do much more than that, open up the economy so that foreign direct investors can come. We should look, and we will do, mechanized agriculture, help youth and women to go into agriculture without much stress. And of course, you know that agriculture, if you don't feed, you can't really do much else. Then that means our government will be all about wealth creating. We will create wealth in order to employ employable people, young people, people not too old, who want to work. I can't even tell you that I know up to 10 young people in Abia State that are employed in the government.
Okay.
So, yeah. It is very sad, truly, to see our youth just laying about doing nothing. And when youth are not properly engaged, they become restless and then begin to form, groups, IPOB, unknown gunmen, and what have you. They're doing this because there is no money. They are not engaged to work and feed themselves. And so government has to do something, either to help skilled workers to go back and retrain, to help those who would rather work as government employees if they're competent to go into paid jobs under the civil service. We can open up. We used to have the Golden Guinea breweries under the government. That could have given us maybe 10,000 employment. We used to have the modern ceramics. That could have given us another 10,000. We used to have the glass industry. We have rubber, we have cocoa, we have cashews, we have palm. I mean, like all of these things, the government, my government, pull what we can from them as resources, help employ people, give our people proper rounded economy. So that when you come out and say, I am from Abia State, there won't be any embarrassment. To tell you the honest truth, till date, a lot of people don't even want to say, introduce themselves to say, I'm from Abia. Because the next thing you get is that, Abia has been very unfortunate with leadership. I don't want to hear that again.
Okay.
I am a qualified woman. And also, as a mother, and admin-wise, I'm fully qualified to be the governor of Abia and to lead Abia to the first of the ladder of in Nigeria. That is God's own state.
All right. Thank you so much, Nina. I've heard so much that you've had to say. There are different areas that you've touched on, talking about the youth and the need to engage them, bad roads, and so many things that need to repair, in your words, in Abia State. This conversation is an initiative of Women in Politics Forum with support from the MacArthur Foundation and RAPA under the Improving Electoral Integrity and Accountability Project. And my guest today is Nina Lancaster Okoro, People's Redemption Party gubernatorial candidate in Abia State. My name is Esther Alaribe, and yes, we're still speaking to Nina today, hearing from her. So now I've heard your thoughts. You've mentioned on the youth. Let's talk about the women and children, persons with disabilities. If you voted into office as the number one person in Abia State, what would you do differently for them?
All I would say is I would give women, firstly, the confidence to be able to say, I am a woman, I am a mother, or I am a wife. I'm looking forward to becoming gainfully employed in order to feed my family. There are one-parent families, well, I would say single parent, females, who don't have any hope in Abia of even sending their children to school. Schools would be at par with what we get in civilized climes. I'm not going to say in other parts of Nigeria because I don't know actually obtains either much better than what we're getting in Abia. But we're going to fix the educational institutions. We're going to let children relearn the importance of being Nigerian children. Take pride in the flag of Nigeria. I think what it is called is civil education or ethics, as we knew it when we were young. Then for the younger women, the girl child, they're going to go back to school to learn what we learned: home economics, agriculture, sciences, languages, those things that make you a proper human being, a future wife today. I learned those, and I tell you, it stood me in good stead, and I'm happy today that I have 5 daughters, and I teach them a lot. And these are things I learned in secondary school even. We're going to send teachers back to retrain in order to give our children proper education. Train them up, teach them properly, not haphazard education, and then you get children coming out of school qualified and not employable. So for our government, it's not going to be what we have in Abia today, where the governor is a man, deputy governor is a man, chief of staff is a man, the secretary to the state government is a man. I mean, what is it? Women are so important. Look at countries where women are president and heads of the government. The countries are doing very well. And this is why Nigeria is not doing well at all. This is why Nigeria is so steeped in corruption, because the men have purposefully cut the women out of governorship. So you really have to strive and beg and maybe do other things, compromise, warm their beds for you to be able to get on and to get proper jobs, even with proper education. So we will start from Abia, and I'm actually really working hard to the best of my ability to make sure that I become governor of Abia State come this 2023.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
and also, please remember that the symbol of my party, PRP, is the golden key. And we're going to use that golden key to unlock the wealth of Abia for Abia. God has given us so much. They're all locked. They're under key, lock and key. But we're going to unlock that lock, the big padlock that they've used to lock in Abia's wealth in human wealth and natural resources that God has given to us. A lot is going to happen in Abia for our good. Watch out.
I like the confidence in your voice, Nina. So,
I don't have a choice, darling.
So with all of this that you've said, it is enough to, this is what you're selling to the electorate, this is what you're telling people why you need to vote for me. All of this and more is what you've said. So yes, ahead of the polls on Saturday, we wish you good luck as you go to the polls and keep engaging with the electorate ahead of the elections. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Still have a wonderful day.
Thank you for the privilege.
Yes. Okay, yes. And that was my guest. I just spoke to Nina Lancaster Okoro, People's Redemption Party gubernatorial candidate in Abia State, and she's been able to tell us all of her plans for the people of Abia State and what she intends to do differently if she's elected the number one person in the state on the platform of the PRP. This conversation is an initiative of Women in Politics Forum with support from the MacArthur Foundation and RAPA under the Improving Electoral Integrity and Accountability Project. So yes, ahead of the elections, we at Women Radio 91.7 will keep spotlighting female candidates. My name is Esther Alaribe. Good afternoon.
WFM 91.7.